All right, folks. Not sure if you can actually hear anything correctly. I was getting a lot of echo earlier when I was trying this back in the whatever the heck it is called. But here I am. We're going to try this. We'll see what happens. Figuring out the whole live streaming thing with the screen share, which seems to be an issue. So we're going to find out. So we're screen sharing right now. I got World Mixed Martial Arts 5. So if you're not familiar, sweet game. I am paid to promote their game. If you buy the game from the link in my description, description of this video and every other video I put out, then I get a kickback, right? You can buy any of their games with my link. It's fantastic. But this is the only one I played because it's about mixed martial arts, and, well, that's what I do. I like mixed martial arts. I don't really like a lot else. So we're starting this up. I got through the boring part that it wouldn't let me do last time if you were one of the 5 that were there checking out the stream that didn't end up happening. The reason why is I was on a different computer. I'm on one now that is able to run it. It's pretty smooth, it seems. So we're going to find out. Anyway, so here we are. I've made myself into the game, as you can tell. Here I am from Omaha, Nebraska. That's me, 5'8", 31 years old. That's me. Look at that. You know about that now. So there you go. So we're looking at this screen here where I can select kind of my stats, right? My talents, if you will. And for this, you can go with one of the presets. They have some pretty good ones, like the Hustler, the Jack of all trades, things like that, whatever. And those just give you kind of like a general idea. Or you can manually set all your stuff, which a lot of folks like to do. Like to set your what am I saying? They want to set their different stats for how they feel like they would be best. And you get a set number of points, right? So like if I do this, we got 30 points remaining total. And if I change them, it drops that down, right? But something that's nice and fun is there's a thing called a lucky dip. And what the lucky dip is you just get a random slot of points, right? And they put them on there however they want. You might get more than 30 points. You might get less than 30 points. You might get exactly 30 points. But the lucky dip just kind of gives you something wild. And that's what we're going to do because I like chaos. So, yep, lucky dip here. So basically this means, like I said, it's going to get the 30 normal points. But, you might also get less. You might get more. But either way. Once it's done, the lucky dip, you cannot change it. So, chaos indeed. Let's go. Lucky dip's been added. Oh, brutal. We got slaughtered, guys. I got 21 points, and I've got 0 eye for talent, but I can make a match like nobody's business. Can't negotiate to save my life. Silver tongue. I don't remember what that one is exactly. Silver tongue. Oh, yeah. So, like, to persuade somebody to take a fight they don't really want to take, like whether it's weight change or whatever. Got that. So I got good there. Suck at scouting. I suck at promotion. This is going to be rough, guys. This is going to be really rough. But we're going to do it, okay? So there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on in here. Let's see. Would you like to remove them? Yes, I would. Buy Scott Avatar. Okay, so now here I get to pick what company I'd like to join, or I could go to none. But, yeah, so I can pick what company I'd like to join. For me, I think I don't want to be the UFC for the main reason being that it's too easy just to, start as the UFC and, not do anything because, like, you got this massive roster of all these folks at different weight classes. So let's pick a regional promotion. Let's limit it down a little bit, all right? So where do we want to be? Obviously, we want an active company, one that's not closed. Home base. Let's go with good old United States of America, right? I think that's a good choice because it's where I'm from. It's what I'm familiar with. And we don't want anything over regional. So we'll go high-level regional is the maximum. And none of those weirdos that fight in a ring. We're going cage only. Okay. So that limits us, right? Okay, so we're down to, we've got either the CES MMA, which is a low-level regional based out of Rhode Island. Totally an option for us. We've got Cage Fury Fighting Championships. Okay, you guys know about that. It's in New Jersey. Another low-level regional here. We've got Invicta, which is one of my personal favorites because I bet Invicta like a freaking madman, and it pays off every time. But either way, so we got Invicta. They're a low-level regional as well, based out of Missouri, as the locals say. We got LFA, mid-level regional. Everybody's familiar with LFA. Pretty good one there. I think I'm going to avoid LFA. I don't know. For whatever reason, I don't want to be LFA. And then we have Titan FC, which I don't know if they're actually still running. I don't know. They might be. But either way, according to this, they are. Titan FC, low-level regional, another one based out of Missouri. So let's look at the rankings of the companies. Okay. So this one here, we have CES, MMA, Rhode Island. They're the 29th ranked company in the world. I don't know how many there are in the world in this game. I didn't look ahead of time. I forget. But yeah, the owner is Jimmy Birchfield Jr. He's also the CEO, so that'd be a good option for me to jump in as the CEO, since they don't have one. Cage Fury FC, same idea. They're number 20, so they're a little bit bigger, actually by a pretty substantial margin. This Rob Haydack is both the CEO and the owner of Cage Fury FC. Cool stuff. Invicta, they already have a CEO. If I jump in as the CEO, I'm kicking her out of her spot. It's kind of a dick move. I probably won't take Invicta then. LFA, I don't want to play as LFA. They're a little bit bigger. I want to start as a smaller one. And then Titan. So that's Jeff Aronson. Okay, Jeff Aronson is the CEO there as well. So, okay, let's take a quick look. I know it's taking a little while, but I haven't played this game in a long time, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at some of the biographies about these places. So let's look at Titan FC first, as we're already here. So after a brief run as a regional promotion based in Kansas City, Titan FC merged with RFA and was thought to be gone forever. Oh, there you go. There explains why I wasn't sure if they were still around. Enter CBS Sports Network. The Upstart Sports Network has revived the Titan brand, and with a small but growing roster of prospects and UFC vets, Titan hopes to compete with the big boys. Okay, so Titan FC looking to compete with the big boys. They've got one heavyweight on the roster. Not going to do it that way. They've got 0 light heavyweights, but 1 middleweight. My goodness. Welterweight, they've got a handful of folks. That's good. Hey, Alex Oliveira's still there. Okay. Yeah, so, okay, I did actually see that they ran a show not that long ago, now that I mention it. Steve Carl. You guys remember Steve Carl? I remember Steve Carl. I haven't seen him fight in a long time. I know he's still fighting, but Steve Carl, welterweight, there we go. Lightweight. Got some folks here, not too bad. Good old Ill Will Brooks. It's good talent there. So lightweight, they got some folks. Featherweight, couple there. Bantamweight, literally only a couple there. Flyweight, couple there. Okay, so Diaz. Okay, we just saw him recently on the Contender Series, I do believe. Okay, so Titan FC, definitely an option. Let's look at Cage Fury Fighting Championships. The premier regional MMA promotion in the Northeast United States, CFFC has been the launching pad for many future champions. Sorry, it's really small on my screen here. For me to stay in view of you guys, I gotta read from a distance. They're a little bit bigger, so that's cool. But they still only have 2 heavyweights. Greg Velasco, we just saw him. He was on the Contender Series and got wrecked. Light heavyweights, they've got a few there. Okay. Mike Rhodes. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Okay. Mike Rhodes. Middleweight. They've got a few there. Donovan Beard. Remember him? He got beat up on the Contender Series by Bo Nickel. Kyle Dawkins down there. Okay. Got a few names. Welterweight. Got a few there. Literally just a few. Lightweight. Got some folks there. That's good. Decent roster. Featherweight. Bantamweight. Flyweight. Oh, they've got a women's division. Women's bantamweight, they've got 1 there, none in the flyweight, 2 in the strawweight. Oh, okay. These 2 both also compete for Invicta, so that makes sense. Anyway, so CFFC, definitely an option. They're a little bit bigger. They're the 20th ranked company, so that's cool. And CES, 29th, the smallest one. So short for Classic Entertainment and Sports. That's a horrible name. CES was born from long-running boxing promotion out of Rhode Island by the same name. Born from a long-running boxing promotion. Okay, who do they got? They got Mike Rodriguez. Interesting. I thought he was in the UFC. Guess not. No, he's not in this. Tyler King. Yeah, I haven't heard of him in a while. Tough 19 probably. William Knight. What we got here? We got light heavyweights, middleweights. You know what? Let's do Titan FC. They have a really horrible roster. But, you know what? They hope to compete with the big boys, it said. And gosh darn it, that's what we're going to do. We're going to compete with the big boys. We're going to take them out, right? Beat all the big boys. So real quick, so basically it gives you the option to play as the owner or the CEO. I'm going to play as the CEO because I don't want to own Titan FC. I just want to work here until I can, build up a name for myself and then maybe move on to a bigger promotion. It sucks starting as a big promotion. It's not as fun. So the CEO doesn't have all of the same abilities that the owner does, but I do have the ability to, book the matches, run the finances for the most part, sign fighters, do all that good stuff. The one thing is I can get fired if I suck at my job. So you know what? If I get fired, so be it. We're gonna play as the CEO of Titan FC, and that is where we will start our journey as a CEO and MMA matchmaker and booker. Okay, so moving right along. Here we are. So here we are in the main deal. I know this is going to sound like an ad the whole time. I'm more just explaining if you haven't done it. Yes, it's kind of an ad. Click the link in my description here to buy this game if you want to play it. It's a really fun game, I promise you. But also, I got to explain it a little bit so you know what the heck we're doing. So I don't know if anybody's actually even watching this. I don't see anybody in the chat, so that's cool. Anyway, so since this is on my screen, I can't actually see everything unless it pops up. But so we're at the main news stories. We've got Alex Volkanovski tops the rankings. Oh, that's cool. This also came out before, this update anyway, came out before UFC 294. In fact, let's go. No, we don't want that. We want recent events somewhere around here. Results, that's what we want. So yeah, recent event. The last one it has is Gamrot and Fiziev. So that's the last event that took place according to this game. So we're stepping back a few weeks here. Anyway, best pound for pound female is Zhang Weili. News about 138 MMA taking over as CEO of Titan FC. World rankings, yada, 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 yada. Real quick, let's take a look at the world rankings just for funsies. Here's what the pound for pound male rankings look like. That's wild. It's got Francis Ngannou as number 2. This is a wild world. So, and this spans across all promotions, right? Because this is the world rankings, okay? So as you see, obviously Francis Ngannou being number 2 is wild. But you actually, outside of Ngannou, you got to go down fairly far to find somebody that's not in the UFC. I believe the first one, if I'm looking, is Vadim Nemkov, and that's way down at number 25. So wild. Anyway, enough of that. What do we need to do? First, let's go to our office. Okay, we're gonna figure out what we've got for a broadcast team. We've got nobody on the broadcast. Okay, here we go. We got broadcast teams. So I could put myself in. That's kind of cheating. So we got Zahabi here. We could put him as he does okay. The guy that owns the company could do the broadcasting, but he's horrible at it. So we're not going to put him. He has zeros in every skill. And then we got this Jeff Ferraro guy. He's pretty good. We might use him. Ferraro here. Play-by-play, anchoring, and analysis. So he's at 60, 64, and 58. So for our level of promotion, we are just leaps and bounds ahead, okay? But we don't want him sitting in the booth alone. So what are we going to do? We're going to stick Faraz Zahabi in there. The reason why is, A, his analysis is a little bit better. So if I don't have him, let's go none. The analysis is still massively above. But either way, Zahabi, he'll add a little bit to the table. His analysis is better. He's not very good at play-by-play. He's not very good at anchoring. But gosh darn it, what is he good at? Analysis. So that's what we're going to do. This team must be their normal team because they have experience together. Let's see what happens. Yep, that screws it up. So nope, they don't use him. So this must be the normal Titan FC broadcast team. They have 28% experience as a unit. That boosts their abilities. So that's our broadcast team, right? Good job. Look at that. We did it. Let's check the champions. Do we have anybody? Okay, the only heavyweight is the heavyweight champion. That checks out. Make it. Will Brooks, welterweight. Lightweight's got Richie Lewis. And we have nothing except for down to flyweight. We have Juan Puerta, something like that. Okay, so what do we need to do? Let's check. I know it's taking a while to get really the flow of things running, but you kind of want to do that at the beginning of the game, see where you're at. Let's see if we have any broadcasters. Okay, so we're on UFC Fight Pass. I did know that. Okay, we're on UFC Fight Pass. That's cool. UFC Fight Pass isn't bad. Where's our popularity? Low level. We're only at 6% regional. Okay, that's cool. Real quick, we better check. So we're 27th, right? Isn't that what we were? There's not a whole lot. 33 there. Ooh, yeah. So we're not ahead of a whole lot of folks as far as where we rank. So yeah, we're 27. So, but that's cool. That means we're, like Drake said, started from the bottom, right? Anyway, all right. Our company rankings are going to be terrible. We don't even need to look at those because we just don't even have enough people to put rankings together. Let's check the finances. Okay, so bonuses. We're giving $250 for knockout of the night, submission of the night, and fight of the night bonus. That sounds about right because we're a real small regional company. And I don't know if you guys know this, but regional companies don't pay a whole lot to fighters, okay? So we got that. Probably nothing in there. We basically just need to sign some talent because we have nothing, okay? Let's go ahead and look at – okay, we need to sign enough fighters to actually put together some fights. Because right now we can legitimately put together, 3 fights at lightweight, 2 fights at featherweight, and then 1 at bantamweight and 1 at flyweight if everybody's available. We might end up doing that. Hold up. Let's do this. Let's make a show. And we'll give us some time. So it's October week 1 according to this. We'll go with week 4 of October. Let's put this on a Friday so we don't end up going up against any UFC. Let's auto name it Titan FC 84. Obviously we're going to show it on Fight Pass. I'm going to be in Missouri, which is apparently a pretty good place for MMA, so that's cool. Let's see what we got available. Let's see if we can put together at least 5 or 6 fights. At welterweight, we've got everybody available. Fantastic. Lightweight, we've got pretty much everybody available. Featherweight. Okay, we can put together some fights, guys. Typically, you need to give fighters enough time to prepare for their fights, but since you just start the game, you have a little bit of wiggle room, and you can book your first event and assume if you do it on day 1, they assume that this was a thing already. So we're just going to go ahead and book an event and then sign some talent as well, but we want some people coming along with it, with some money coming in along with it as well. So we're going to go ahead and do that, make the next show 85, and then we're going to add some fights, guys. We're going to add some fights to this daggone thing. Let's see if anybody's in the chat. Nobody's in the chat. I don't think anybody's watching this. That's cool. If you're watching this, say something in the chat. So I don't see the numbers right now. Anyway, so let's find us some stuff here. Okay, so our number 1 ranked welterweight is coming off of a loss, so that's cool. Do we have a champion at welterweight? I don't believe we do. We do. It's Will Brooks. Wait a minute. Right. He's unavailable. Awesome. Okay, so Will Brooks is unavailable. But he's our number 1 ranked welterweight. Okay. We want a big fight for number 1 for our main event. So let's see. Number 1 and 2 at lightweight are both coming off of a loss. That's not ideal. What about featherweight? What do we got going on here? Nothing. Not a single thing. These guys we're doing what we can with what we got, guys. Bear with me here. Bear with me. Okay, well, we got a hometowner here in this, what's his name? It's Ira Lukowski. I don't know who that is, but apparently he's from Missouri. St. Charles, it says. So that's cool. Got a hometowner. That helps the ratings. Hometown, it does give you a little boost for the desire to see that fighter. Flyweight, what do we got here? We got, not good. Okay. Well, I think we got to go back up to welterweight because our biggest star power is going to be Alex Oliveira, right? And we're going to put him in there against somebody, a couple of old-timers here. We could do that. This is actually a pretty big main event. Could do that. It says it's a great main event if you see it on the screen there. Right here. High-level regional is the level that it would be rated at. And since my promotion skill sucks, that's actually pretty impressive because, their promotion skill helps boost the fight, right? Oh, this is a massive one. Oh, it's probably because he's not coming off. Or, well, no, because neither of them are coming off loss. Wonder why. This guy must be really popular compared to this guy, even though they're both low-level regional. Okay, well, anyway, this one's a mid-level national. That would be a massive main event. He's also younger. He's 1-0 in Titan FC. So if he could beat Alex Oliveira, that should be a big boost to him. Maybe we'll put this what's his name? Glacio Franca. Maybe we'll put him in there. We'll see. We could always go Michael Graves. You guys remember Michael Graves? Man, this is like a blast from the past. You know all these former Ultimate Fighter guys on here and stuff? Michael Graves. I remember that guy. Yeah, I think we go here. I think that's what we do. We're going to make this our main event. Done deal. Hopefully the young guy beats Alex Oliveira. That'd be fantastic. I don't think it's going to happen, but either way. All right, and then I think we go. I think it's an evenly lined fight. It's a good one. Low-level regional fight fits where it should be. I think we put this one on the card here. It gives us another couple of welterweights in case a fight falls out. We can always plug one of these guys in. Graves versus Acevedo. Cool. Let's do that. They're in. Awesome. Let's get a few fights going. We can get another set of welterweights on. It's gonna be a welterweight stack card. We'll put Steve Carl on there. Oh man, he's not very good, is he? I mean, he's also freaking 38 years old, so it makes sense. He's not doing as good as he used to. But he's got name value still. So I think we go with the closer line fight right here. Put that one in. And even though they're lower ranked, there's some name value. So put that there. We're going to go ahead and do lightweight. Look at some stuff in this. None of these guys have any name value, it looks like. Our champion is down here. How is our champion unranked? Probably because we haven't run shows yet. They're going to go whack. Will Brooks is the welterweight champion, but he's also competing at lightweight, and he's currently set in my lightweight division. That makes sense. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. All right, well, we're going to save him for our next show, where we're probably going to move him back up to defend his title against whoever wins the main event of this show. That's a good closely lined fight. A couple of guys coming off losses. We'll get somebody to win. Let's plug them suckers in there. Neither of them very expensive, so that's cool. How many fights do I think we need? Okay. Zach Zane versus that guy. Don't know what that is. Okay. Neither guy's known at all. I guess Zane's known a little bit. He's low-level regional, but other fella here is unknown in the area. He's probably known somewhere. Let's see. No, he's not known anywhere. Nobody knows who this guy is, and he's 36 years old with a 13-4 record, 2-2 in Titan FC, but nobody knows who he is. That's probably an error on the creator of this deal here. We might also go champ versus champ on the next card. I think Will Brooks could be a double champ. Oops, sorry, right there, double champ. That'd be easy enough for. And then if he's not, well, whatever. Will Brooks is getting old, so it'd be fine to have him lose one. For now, let's throw these guys on there. See if we can get, some notoriety from one of them. That puts us at 5 fights? Let's see what this thing says here. Let's see. We have a guy not assigned to a weight class? What the heck? Who is that? Carlos Matos. Why are you not assigned to a weight class? Oh, you're best at middleweight. Okay. So, done. Easy. I don't know what the heck was up with that. Okay. I think, what do we have? 5 fights currently. If you're running less than 6, you get a big ratings hit. So let's do another fight. Here we go. We got our new middleweight here. I don't really want to crown a middleweight champion with 2 guys coming off of losses. So we'll probably have to sign somebody else. But let's do this. Let's hope the younger guy can knock out this 36-year-old over here. And let's go with that. It's potential main event. What's this one? This one's potential main event. So got some star power in it. Let's leave Steve Carl in the co-main currently, because I like Steve Carl, right? We all remember Steve Carl. I've mentioned that a couple times. We don't need any prelims. We're running a small 6-fight event, okay? We got that. Hey, look at that, J.R. Smith. What's up, brother? Let's see. J.R. Smith, let's see, company I picked. Starting with Titan FC. So they're pretty low. super low level regional. Got $1 million to work with. Sounds like a lot. Goes by quick if you don't make money. So basically Titan FC, they're 29th out of, I think, 33 different promotions right now in the world. So they're pretty low. I ended up going with them because I wanted to start with somebody, not super high up. And I wanted to start as the CEO rather than the owner. So J.R. Smith, thanks for joining the chat, my friend. Thank you for joining the chat. Okay, so right now what we're doing is we're going to go look at some regional talent here. Actually, real quick, I got to figure out what – that's going to take a minute to load. There's a lot of them. Okay, I need to figure out what division we want to get some fighters for. We have nobody at light heavyweight. We might not want to mess with that right now. Let's build out a division that's already got a little bit. Let's look for some flyweights, bantamweights, and I guess that – let's go middleweights, flyweights, bantamweight. Forget heavyweight for now. Middleweights, flyweights, bantamweights. So what we're going to do – we're gonna search here. We're going to change the max name value because we don't want to spend a lot on these fellas. We're gonna go max name value is high level regional, which is still pushing it probably. Available to hire. We're looking for people we can hire. That's what we're looking for. Active fighters, easy enough. I don't think we want a bunch of. We're too low to really care about age. We're just trying to get by right now. And we want the normal weight class. Let's do middleweight. So we'll start with that. And then J.R. Smith, you are right. The easiest way to get fighters have some buzz is just released UFC fighters. You're not wrong. Right now, we just need to fill out our roster a little bit. We do have Alex Oliveira on the roster. And if you were actually in the chat when you heard me mentioning Steve Carl's name a ton, we got Steve Carl, if you remember him. Okay, so we've got a decent bit to pick from here at middleweight. Ozzy Diaz. We saw him recently on the Contender Series. Cheap as dirt. Look at that, $900 per fight is all he requires. It'll probably cost me more because if you happen to catch the first part of the stream when I was going through setting my talents, I did the lucky dip. And, I did horrible. And my ability to negotiate is not good. But Ozzy Diaz would be a good one. He is under contract with the LFA, but it's a standard contract, meaning he can also work elsewhere. Let's see. Middleweight is your main focus starting off, or new, I think, heavyweight because their car crash finishes light, and lightweights because of their how accessible they are. Yeah, so we actually have a decent bit of lightweights on the roster. Real quick, I'll actually go over the roster real quick. We'll come back to this. It'll take a second. So currently what we're looking at with our roster you know what? Actually, tell you what. Let's do it this way. Let's just go right here. So currently in the roster right now, we only have one heavyweight in the division because that's what they came with. They have no light heavyweights. They have 2 middleweights, 7 welterweights, 7 lightweights. So we've already got some of those. In fact, we already booked out our first card. Got those going here. We got welterweights, the one middleweight matchup we can make out of our 2 fighters, and then we got a couple of lightweights. So we've got some of those going. I just need a couple of others in some other divisions. So we're going to look for some middleweights, some bantamweights, and some flyweights, and I think that'll kind of round that out a bit. So we're going to go for now. Definitely not my main focus as far as a roster spot goes, but we want guys that are exciting. We also want guys that'll put butts in seats. The 25% for his name value. We're gonna try and sign Ozzy Diaz. He's cheap. He's decently well known. We're just gonna put him to a long 10-year contract with 10 fights on it. He's not gonna accept this pay probably because I can't negotiate to save my life. He wants at least $1,000 per fight. Ozzy, you know what? I think you're worth $1,000 per fight. Every time he wins, he's going to get a 2.5% addition to that. For all of these deals, he gets more. So win bonus 100%, 5% on everything else, and we give him a signing bonus of $225. So just for not even fighting, just for signing the deal, $225. Now we wait, and if he accepts the offer, fantastic. So Ozzy Diaz. All right, let's get us up to 6 middleweights. So that puts us at 3 if he signs on. So let's get 3 more middleweights. Oh, Jonathan Pati. I don't think I want to sign him. Nothing against the guy, but he's kind of just known for losing 6-6. We don't know what that. Pat Downey. Oh, Bellator must have got rid of him after he got wrecked by Christian Eccles. That's not fun. Poor guy. What's up, Gerald, in the comments? What's up, buddy? We're just playing some World Mixed Martial Arts 5. As I was mentioning before, you could actually buy this from the link in the description of this live stream as well as any of my videos. I do get a kickback for that. They help me out with that, but yeah, we're playing it because it's fun, and I don't have an excuse to ever play video games anymore. In fact, I haven't played any in years. So we're just kind of screwing around playing a little bit of this. But yeah, so here we are. We're looking for some middleweights to hire. Oh, what do we want to do? Wes Schultz. Okay, we might go with Wes Schultz here. He's cheap as heck. He only wants $140 to fight. And you know what? That's what we want. We want cheap right now. He's got 3-0 record, wrestling background, good marketability, so he'll be able to build himself up. I like it. Wes Schultz, welcome to the club, as long as we can come to terms we can agree on. So 10 fights and 10 years is the standard that I like to go with. He wants $150. He's driving a hard bargain, man. All right, $150 to fight. Brother, I can do that. Wes Schultz. What are you complaining about now? What do you want now? Says he's not happy about it. Well, all right, man. How about $160? There we go. Wes Schultz. Now he's going to wait for him to accept the contract. So there we go. We're up to 4. Let's get 2 more middleweights, then we'll hire a couple of others from some different areas of the world of mixed martial arts, some different weight classes. Do I drug test in my company? That's funny. I'm going to put that up there. Do I drug test in my company? J.R. Smith, actually, I'm not sure yet. I do, because we are based out of Missouri, which is required. There are 2 states, I believe, that you are not required to drug test. Missouri is not one of those. You do have to drug test in Missouri. So I am required, albeit I believe we do it in-house. So it's, we'll have to check the levels. I'll check the levels here after this. Let's sign 2 more guys here. Let's go. Here's another cheap guy, Jackson McVee. All right. I feel like I've seen this guy fight before. I wonder. Jackson McVee. I'll look it up later. Anyway, he's young, good wrestling, good striking, super marketable, cheap as dirt. That's what we want, guys. That's what we want. Cheap as dirt and marketable. Am I right? So I'm going to sign him to a deal. I just realized that the extra windows aren't popping up for you guys. So you're just looking at Jackson McVee. Right now I'm negotiating with him. And that window, for whatever reason, isn't popping up for you. So we're going to figure out why that is here in a second. But first, we're going to get Jackson McVee signed. Let's see. He's not happy with my financial deal. One sec here. All right. Okay. So we got an offer to him. Let me see if I can make it so that pops up. You know what, guys? You're just gonna have to deal with not seeing the extra screen there, because I've got no idea how to do that. It will not let me without doing everything. So, whoa, we just lost something here. I'm sorry, folks. We're gonna figure out why the heck we just lost our screen sharing. Okay. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. J.R. Smith, why not Nebraska? Because Titan FC is based out of based out of Missouri. Sorry. And since they're based out of Missouri, that is where we are running our fights, because it makes sense to run them the same place you're based most of the time. So that's why. Good question, though, because that is where I am from, Nebraska. But yeah, we're based out of Missouri, so that's how the locals say it, I hear. So we're playing out of there. So anyway, let's sign one more guy. I got to quit dilly-dallying, so we got to get to some fun stuff here. But hey, you know what? We're just having fun. We're just hanging out. That's what we're doing, guys. We're just hanging out. Where did we just see this guy fight? He was on the Contender Series. That's where. This Belgrade guy? Yeah, he was on the Contenders. I knew that guy. We're not going to sign him. Let's go. I'm going to find somebody who wants to sign here. Let's go. Daquan Townsend's on a slump right now. Look at that. Oof. Just not going to do that. Oh, Dwayne Johnson. He's actually from Omaha. I know this guy a little bit. Okay, you know what? We're going to sign Dwayne. He puts on fun fights. So we're going to sign Dwayne Johnson. It won't let me show you, for whatever reason, the contract screen that pops up. But we're offering him a 10-fight deal. I'll just walk you through it as we do it. Dwayne wants more money. I tried to offer him $900, which is what he originally said. Like I said, my negotiating skill is bad. So we're gonna offer him $1,000. I bet you he takes it. Yes, he does. So, well, not yet, but he's at least gonna talk it over with his manager. Okay, so we got that. Let's see. Can I change where I'm based? I can't. I don't believe I can change where the company is based. But I can change where we hold shows. I can do that. So if, like, for example, let's go back into our matchmaking screen. So right here, I have our show booked for the 4th week of October. We're currently in the 1st week of October, except for Missouri. This is the show I got lined up. We're just putting a 6-fight show on. We're broadcast by UFC Fight Pass because we have a deal with them. If in real life, that's the way it works too. Titan FC does show on UFC Fight Pass, but we do have that there. Let's see. Drug testing. Here we go. That's what we were looking for. Okay, so this is our quality of in-house testing. So we actually have pretty good drug testing down here in Titan FC. It cost me $564 per fighter. Does it change if I lower this? Yes, it does. Well, guys, drug tests are expensive. So we're gonna lower the quality of these drug tests here, fellas, because it's all about money right now. Because I don't know if you know, but putting on regional shows on a subscription-based network like UFC Fight Pass, you don't make a ton of money, guys. So we're lowering the amount of what we've got for the drug testing. Did you guys get to see that when it pops up? No, you don't. You don't get to see that. Okay, so I'll walk you through it. Anything that you don't get to see, I'll walk you through it. So anyway, so our drug testing, we do it in-house. Currently, we have it set to catch perpetrators at about 40% quality, which is pretty good. It's going to cost me $300 per fighter right now. And we do a 1-year suspension for a failed drug test of any sort. So not too bad. You know what? Screw that. We're gonna drop that down to 35% effectiveness, and that's gonna bring it down to $264 per fighter. That's gonna make things a lot better. That's what we want. And I'm not super worried if for whatever reason, we lose a little bit. You know what I might be able to do? Okay, I'm gonna stop the screen share for just a second. Actually, just kidding. I think I can. Ooh, let's see. Yeah, stopping the screen share for a second. Bear with me, guys. We're going to screen share again. And we're going to go. We're going to do the whole screen. We're going to do that. Now you'll be able to see everything pop up. You'll also get to see everything on here, which looks weird as heck like this. Holy moly. But anyway, here we are. Now you get to see the screen I'm looking at. And now if I click on something, you get to see it pop up. Perfect. Look at that, guys. I found a way to solve it. But we just ended up in a weird way here. Okay, so we've done a lot already. And I need to quickly sign a couple more fighters. Or at least attempt to. Because if I don't, we're not going to be able to run any more shows. And guys, booking shows is kind of important. So real quick, we're going to check out some bantamweights. See what we got available as soon as this catches up. This database has like 70,000 fighters in it or something crazy like that. I don't know if it's that many, but it's a lot. So you get that's not what I want to do. I want to do just males because we have a male bantamweight division we're looking to fill. So I want to drop down the females out there. Nothing against it. I do like Invicta quite a bit. So women's MMA is my thing, but we are going to get the men because that's what we need in our division. So let's get us like 4 quick signings here for the bantamweight division. What do we want to do? There we go. Rico, he put on a good showing on the Ultimate Fighter. Let's take Rico DeShulo or whatever, however you say that. We're going to sign this guy. So now, as you can see, we're in the contract negotiations. For anybody still watching, we are going to give him 10 years, 10 fights is the hope. As you see here, he gets 5% bonus on everything here, plus the 100% win bonus, $250 signing bonus, and every win he gets, his pay will be increased by 2.5%, which does add up if he starts wrecking fools. So he wants more money. Go figure. I had a feeling. It's a big shot now. He's on the Ultimate Fighter. Let's give him $1,100 to show up. Still not happy. All right, my friend. Let's go $1,200. Any more, and I'm going to tell you to kick rocks. Okay, cool. All right, so far so good. Saidikov Kakramanov. Huh. Man, he wants a little bit too much money. I want to sign him. Well, you know what? Let's see. He's not under contract with anybody. Let's do it. Screw it. Let's spend some money to get Saidikov. So I assume he's going to want more money. Let's just go ahead and go 1,600 right off the bat, see if he takes it. And he does not. He wants more. Oh, he wants more down here. Okay, we can't afford Saeed to come. He wants a lot. He wants an arm and a leg from us. We can't do that. Oh, this was actually before Tavares actually got signed. I'm not going to sign him right now. I do think it'd be fun, but whatever. I do like Reyes Cortez, and he fights for cheap, so we're going to do that. Reyes Cortez, you're in. You're in, kid. Dana White would say. You're in, kid. He wants $120 to fight, brother. I can do that. We can give you $120 to fight. I'm still not happy. Okay, 130 it is. You twisted my arm. All right, so we got that. Let's do 2 more quick ones. Let's go. We got Mo Miller. Oh, I don't know if we want Mo Miller. He's also under contract with something else. So with LFA. Let's do Kevin Kroom. Oh, that's funny. Casey Tanner. Well, we just saw Casey Tanner. He didn't do so well in the Contender Series, but put up a good show. We didn't get it. Let's do. Screw it. Yeah. Nah. Yeah, let's do it. Let's sign Casey Tanner, guys. We're gonna sign Casey Tanner, assuming he can do what we're offering for fairly cheap. He wants $1,100. I had a feeling he would. Still wants more. You guys are killing me. All right, $1,200 a fight. You have a little bit of name value. There you go. All right, let's get this guy too. $900 to fight, but he's 4-1 and he's got strong marketability. That's what you want. Let's see. We got a little bio here. The Mullet is his fighter name. Can't go wrong with that. He's an accomplished wrestler. He has a particularly good rear naked choke at his disposal. Okay, let's go. Let's get it, brother. You're on the roster, hopefully. What's $1,000? You guys, you're killing me here. Just take the money I offer. Okay, excellent. Okay, so we got ourselves a roster, hopefully, assuming any of those accept our bids or whatever. Just make sure nobody's dropped anything crazy in the comments. Okay, so we've got that far. Isn't that exciting? Okay, so what we're going to do now, the first day, honestly, guys, the first day when you've set up your company does take a little bit longer than everything else because you want to make sure you got everything right, don't you? You want to make sure you got your commentators on deck. You want to make sure you got the roster built up. You want to make sure your finances are where they need to be. We're not going to scout anybody because we're too broke. We got what we need to do. Let's check the rules real quick. So the rules, okay. So 10-point must system makes sense. We've got 3 5-minute rounds for non-title, 5 5-minute, and 5 5-minute makes sense. All that stuff's normal. Illegal is knees to the head of a ground opponent. Whatever makes sense. I could change it, but we're not going to change it yet. Stomps to the ground opponent. I would love to make that legal. I think that'd be great. The one thing I don't like that you can't change in the rules is you can't just make headbutts legal because that would be sick. I think headbutts should be legal anyway, but whatever. That's cool. Okay. I think we've done enough today. Let's skip ahead a day and see what happens. Now we're on the loading screen, which is always fun. While that's loading, I'm looking at the chat again. Cool. Nothing there. You guys, I don't know if you're still watching, but if you are, you're part of the real ones. I appreciate y'all. Anyway, we're going to go back to this, and we're just going to look at Carlos Diego Ferreira because that's what they're showing us, and we're just going to wait while it processes. It does take a while to process if you're running on a slow machine, which I happen to be doing so. It also takes a little bit longer to process if you're playing a game with a very large mod to it, large database, if you will. The default database is big, but it's not massive. I'm using the real-world up-to-date database that's been going, that has like everything you can imagine, pretty much, from like 1993's data all the way on, because 93 is when UFC started, when MMA more or less started. So that's what we got, and yes, a lot. So there you go. But we've got that. We are just watching the loading screen. It'll take a bit, and it'll get smoother as the game goes on. The first few times that you do it as well, takes a bit longer. Guys, we've been live for like 44 minutes already. I don't know how much longer we'll go. I know this is like the most boring episode because all we did was set up our company. But guys, guess what? We're hanging out, we're live, and we're having fun. Get to chat with you guys. While this is up, we can talk some real MMA. Something I was interested in, something that I found interesting recently. And so I was watching the BYM pod, right? I do that sometimes. I like Anthony Smith. He lives like right down the street from here, so it's kind of, neat. But and so Anthony put out that, or he asked, can the referee overrule the doctor's decision? talking about the Johnny Walker fight, right, where Johnny Walker was ready to go. The doctor was an incompetent moron, and he stopped the fight, right? You're going to see a weird screen. We're like Inception level deep, but I just want to make sure I don't miss anything in the chat. But anyway, so Anthony Smith was he was saying that he thought that the referee could overrule the doctor. Well, he was almost right, because what it is the referee gets to decide whether or not the doctor can come into the cage at all. But once the referee allows the doctor into the cage, the referee must accept the doctor's decision, right? So if the doctor calls off the fight, referee has to say, okay, well, I guess the fight's called off because I was the one that let him into the cage in the first place. That's my bad. There you go. The referee can't just overstep the doctor. So that's essentially what you get there. I texted my buddy that I did an interview with, referee Rob Lewis from the Nebraska Athletic Commission, which is the state that I live in. Referee Rob, he was so kind as to break that down for me a little bit. I tweeted it out if you haven't seen it, but that's an interesting thing, because basically a referee's not going to know what a doctor's going to say until they let him in the cage. So the referee has to deem it reasonable to let the doctor in the cage if they want to maintain control. Now, typically you would assume that you don't have to, you wouldn't have to worry about the doctor making a bonehead decision, right? But now coming forward, I wonder if we're going to see referees not want the doctor to come into the cage because they're not sure where the doctor is gonna make decisions, whether they're gonna be like, yeah, whatever, we're gonna call this fight off because this guy's damaged or whatever. I wonder if the next time somebody gets kneed in the head, the referee's gonna make a real good judgment call and assess the situation before allowing the doctor in. I would say probably that would make sense to me, because, well, we don't want another blunder like we just had. Anyway, so that was interesting. Referee Rob Lewis, if you haven't checked out that video I did, the interview with him, you really ought to check it out. I know it's like an hour long. Put it on when you're driving somewhere, or put it on when you're like at work and just have it on in the background or something like that. It's a pretty good interview. Referee Rob, he's super cool, nice guy, fun to chat with. I enjoyed the heck out of it. So, and now we're buddies. We text regularly now. So that's cool. But yeah, so this is still going to look, the first one is taking forever. I know it says not responding. It always says that when it's doing it. It does respond. There we go. See, look, it's already done. Okay, so we've got some emails. What do we got? Okay, so CES is approaching a couple of the people that we have on our roster. Honestly, that's fine, guys. The reason why that's fine, they're even smaller than us. We're at 27. They're ranked at number 29 in the world. So here's the news. Randy Couture has been released from PFL. That's interesting. The 60-year-old statement said that he wanted to explore other options. Okay, cool. UFC announced a fight night, Pennington versus Vieira 2. So that's cool. One's expanded their heavyweight division. Let's see. Jamal Hill is now, he's officially joining Gracie Technics as his new home, his new gym. So that's cool. These are just random things. Let's see. Team. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is not super important, but we're going to have some fun looking it over right now, just to kind of show the depth of what you can see in here. There you go. Aaron Blanchfield joins Team Punishment. Just some different stuff. All the different things. Road FC is trying to expand their bantamweight division. There we go. Their LFA fight card announced. Road FC released some fella. Let's see. Anything fun? Anything that's going to affect us at all? I don't think so. Probably not. Yeah, all right. Most of this stuff does not affect us whatsoever. There's a lot of news. See, that's why it took so long to load the first one. There's a ton of news. So we're still waiting to hear back from all these folks to sign them. So nothing new there. If we look at our matchmaking screen, we've still got a couple of fighters that are available if we wanted to add another fight. I don't think we do. But by golly, we could start booking out another show for the following month. And I think that's what we need to do. So let's book out another show for the following month. Let's put it at the end of November. Yeah, let's put it the third week of November. I don't think it matters if you You know what? Screw it. We're going fourth week in November. Put it on Friday. We might run into some hiccups with holidays and stuff like that. But you know what? We're going to put it there. We're going to run this one again in Missouri. Easy enough. And there we go. So I'm going to set this one. We're going to do the main event that I had talked about just a little bit ago in the lightweight division. We've got Richie Lewis, who is currently our lightweight champion here. And we're going to have him fight Ill Will Brooks for the lightweight championship. I wonder if we can put both championships on the line. Let's see if we can do it. By golly, we sure can. Oops. So we have our welterweight champion, Ill Will Brooks, fighting our lightweight champion in Richie Lewis. And both titles are on the line. They're fighting at lightweight, but both titles are on the line. This is really exciting. Okay, that's fun. It's a great main event. You can build a card around that right there, guys. You can build a card around that. So, got that one scheduled. Let's throw some featherweights on there, shall we? Oh, what do we got going on at featherweight? We've got this fella here. And we got a bunch of guys coming off losses. Well, a couple guys that aren't off losses, but we got quite a few that are. Let's see if the two coming off of losses, they don't match up super well. Becerra, I think it is the pretty big favorite. We could put it on the card. We could. A couple of old guys. What do we got down here? A couple of younger fellas in their 20s here. It's a good matchup. We could put that on the card. I think that'd be fun to see. Or we can pair it up where we got the old guys fighting the young guys. And we got a closely lined fight here. I hate to put one guy coming off a win versus one guy coming off a loss, but the younger guy's the favorite, which is usually what you want. Darn it, let's do it. It's in. We're set. And let's see what we got here. We've got a little less of a closely lined fight. The younger guy's pretty much going to win, most likely. Minus 340. Not bad, not bad. Isn't that cool? They give you the odds in this. For us D-Gen gamblers, that's not bad. I like that. Let's put it in. Let's do it. We got the fight. We got 3 fights booked on this card already. We want 6 minimum. So, unfortunately, our number 1 featherweight doesn't have an opponent. That's okay. Let's throw these fellas on here, the bantamweights. We got a guy from the hometown. We mentioned it last time. He is fighting out of Missouri, St. Charles. So we're gonna add these suckers to the card. Nobody really knows who they are, so that's cool. Except the hometown guy's gonna get a boost. And I believe we've got a couple of flyweights we can add to the card. One's coming off a win, one's coming off a loss. One of them's our champion. There are only flyweights on our roster. So I suppose we could make it a title fight. Make it the co-main event, maybe. Yeah, let's do it. Title fight. Co-main event. We got 2 title fights on this card, one of which is for 2 titles. Guys, are the fans of Missouri spoiled for the November, Friday, the 4th week of November event? It doesn't say the dates because that would make the game kind of confusing. All that stuff, but they're spoiled is what they are. Let's see. Do we have any other divisions we can put? I don't think so. We can do a catchweight bout, but I think what we need to do is just wait till we get some more people hired. But we're looking pretty good, fellas. We're looking pretty good. Yeah, no fights this Saturday in real life, that is. So I felt like this was a good time to do a live stream. Maybe I'll do another one this week. Maybe I won't. I'll be wrapping this one up here shortly. I don't know. Maybe we'll go through one more day, and I'll just chat with you guys about some stuff. And if anybody has anything in the comments they specifically want to, or in the chat that they want to discuss, we'll do that. But let's go to the next day. And while that's loading, we'll go back here. Hey, there we go. Shed some light on. Shed some light on what? What are we looking to get light on? Sid MMA. What are we looking for some light on, friend? But let's shed some light. We'll shed light on anything. Okay, so first things first. Let's shed some light on. How about this? So, here we go. Victor Hugo, Daniel Marco. Oh, there you go. So I actually started looking at this fight already. Good thing to throw out there. You know what? Let's put that up on the screen for you. There you go. Victor Hugo, Daniel Marcos. Okay, let's chat about it. So for Marcos, he's got the full training camp, right? He's had been ready to go. He had already had an opponent lined up. That opponent fell out. Now you got Victor Hugo stepping in short notice. He actually just fought on Dana White's Contender Series not that long ago. He had an impressive showing. I did pick him to win in that Contender Series matchup. I did expect him to win that, but I didn't expect him to win it as impressively as he did with that sick knee bar. But he did a good job. I did like that. Daniel Marcos, I know people are kind of down on him after that Davey Grant performance where he got the victory. A lot of people thought he shouldn't have. But he's still, that's Davey Grant. And I think Davey Grant has a win over Jonathan Martinez, who is on a tear and just wrecked Adrian Yanez. So when you're talking about Davey Grant as the guy that you're like, oh yeah, I'm down on him because he didn't look that good against Davey Grant. Well, I don't know if there's really anything you hold against him there. Davey Grant hasn't really shown that he's slowing down either. He's been pretty consistent and pretty steady in pretty much every fight. So I'm leaning Marcos. I haven't made my final decision on that one. But I'm leaning Marcos because Marcos does have good takedown defense. Marcos has the far better striking. Hugo's got big, powerful hooks, lands big bombs, but I don't know that he can keep up with the technique of Marcos. I think Marcos is crisp. He's a good counter striker. The one thing that I do worry about is sometimes Marcos is content to move backwards when he's counter striking, and moving backwards when you're counter striking is not that good. Yes, it was a split against Davey Grant. It definitely was. In fact, so I had a bet on Marcos in that fight, so I'm biased. But I thought Marcos did enough to get the win over Davey Grant. But, a lot of people thought Davey Grant won. I understand why. A lot of them had bets on Davey Grant, so I understand why. I'm in the minority saying that Davey Grant lost that fight, but whatever. But yeah, no, I do think for Hugo, his best path to victory is to make the fight as ugly as he can, come forward, sling bombs, and if he can get the fight to the mat, that's when he's going to probably have an advantage because we haven't really seen a ton of Daniel Marcos on the ground yet. But Daniel Marcos does have excellent takedown defense, and he makes you pay for failed takedowns. He does stuff them well, and then he gets you with his counter strikes on the feet. Does a good job there. So far I'm leaning Marcos, but I'm gonna research it a little bit more. I've got my notes most of the way done for that card, and I've got most of my notes done for UFC 295. I've just been kind of jumping around a little bit. Sometimes just researching a whole card, it's tough to not jump around at all. What do I think the grappling against each other? Okay, let's see. So for me, I think so. On paper, Hugo probably is the better grappler, right? I mean, the guy. That knee bar that was beautiful, but we don't know what Marcos looks like on the mat because we haven't seen it against anybody remotely high level. I can't even recall ever seeing it. I'm sure I did when I broke down his last fight against David Grant. I probably saw it in some of his regional and when I broke down his Contender Series fights. But to be fair, like if you looked at his old fights, I'm pretty sure you see like a big layoffs in his performance, but he was getting better during that time. We don't really see him in the grappling. So I do think you got to assume Hugo probably is the better grappler, but Marcos is the cleaner striker. And I think those counter shots are going to do better. But so I'm leaning Marcos, like I said, but I haven't decided yet. I think the odds are a little wide for him. I think it was like minus 245 last I saw. I couldn't play him that. Minus one anything, I'd probably play it. Not minus 200 anything. Definitely not over 200. So Marcos there for that one. But yeah, at least for now. I haven't given the full one. You'll get the full card breakdown coming out eventually. It'll probably be Tuesday of next week. But yeah, there's definitely some other fights on that card that I'm interested for. The odds on Hugo are very tempting. I agree. I don't mind a flyer on the Hugo. You guys are getting a wild screen there just because of the way that this is set up. But either way, I don't mind a flyer on Hugo really, but I don't think he wins. So it kind of depends on what you're looking at. Like if you're the type of bettor that bets value, there's definitely value on Hugo. Oh, our game's back up. There is definitely value on Hugo, right? Because Hugo, what we noticed is dude has tons of talent in the grappling, and on the feet he's got power. What does that do? Well, it makes for chaos in a fight sometimes because he's throwing big bombs. He could get the takedown. He does have a chance to win. But there's also the other camp of betting that's like, well, you got to pick winners because even if you get all the value in the world, if your fighter loses, you don't win anything. So I see both sides. I haven't hammered it out yet. For that Sao Paulo card, I only have one bet on the Patreon so far. Patreon.com/138MMA. If you were unsure, I've got one bet so far. I do already have the Patreon parlay up, but I do have one bet, and it's not one. It's a pretty safe one because, I try to play, 3 safe bets and then 1 risky bet, and then the 4th bet could go either way. That's kind of how I try to do my bets on the Patreon. But all right, let's jump back into this real quick. So here we are. So it looks like we got some news. Bellator, they've announced the show. They've released Josh Thompson. They're done with this guy. Okay. Anything else we need to take a note of? No, nothing super exciting. But either way. Oh, wait. Bellator released Big John McCarthy. They are cleaning house on commentators. What is Bellator doing here? Going at a business sale, right? They're getting rid of everything. So we're still waiting on decisions back from these guys. What was that? Let's see. Oh yeah, for sure. There'll definitely be a video. Definitely be a video coming out. And this live stream should stay up, so you can always go back and watch this too. So when you hear all that stuff we were chatting about, plus you get to see the game. But and also for everybody, if you haven't checked out this game before, World of Mixed Martial Arts 5, it's a blast. You can get the real world mods. You can find those. I believe they're in Discord right now. So you can get the real world mods. So you don't have to play with the fake characters. You got real people like you see here. We're looking at real folks, real stuff like Billy Q right here. It's him. We know him. Bellator's going to PFL. That seems to be the general consensus, right? Is that Bellator is going to PFL. It sounds like nothing's finalized yet, though, so we're not, entirely sure. But it does sound like that's going to be the general consensus or whatever. That's what's probably going to happen. Let's see. I'll be shutting down the stream here shortly, but let's check a couple of things out, right? What have we not checked out on here before we do this? We've already been on for about an hour, give or take, just a little over an hour. Let's look at, let's look at the, what do we want to look at? Let's look at the company rankings. Let's see where they have them ranked. So let's see if anything's changed. So let's go. So UFC is obviously number one company in the world. Let's see. What do we think number 2 is? My guess is Bellator is still number 2. No, Bellator is number 3. I was wrong. What would number 2 be? PFL maybe? No, they're number 4. Okay, 1 championships. Yes, 1 championships is number 2. Okay, that makes sense. So they're number 2 company in the world. That makes a lot of sense. We've got quite a few here. Yeah, we're still number 27. That's cool. Everything's still legit. We're still the CEO. See that? Look at that. CEO 138 MMA, guys. Isn't that dope? That's super cool. Let's see. People have, they do have Saudi money right now. That's one way to buy a company. Am I right? Saudi money is going to get it for sure. That oil money. But yeah, this is the game world. Isn't that sweet? Let's go over a couple things here, and then we'll just, I don't know. For anybody that hasn't played this game, it is a blast. It'll take away a lot of your time. I haven't played it in years. The only reason I'm doing it now is because I have an excuse to do it because they're paying me to, gosh darn it, to sell copies of this. So I have the excuse to play it, and I'm super stoked about it. Whether you guys buy any or not, I'm stoked just to be able to play this game again. I haven't done it in years. Giving very tough competition. I don't know about that. That's going to be tough because the UFC just has that. So, like, how many people do you see on a daily basis that are like, oh, yeah, I train UFC, or like UFC is to MMA as like the NFL is to football, right? Or like the NBA is to basketball, or whatever other. I don't watch ball sports, but like those are what right? That company. The UFC still has that. I think it'll be a long time before anybody is competing with the UFC. I'm not saying PFL can't. Professional Fighters League does sound pretty legitimate. They really try to cater to the sports ball audience. I hate that. Other people love it. I hate the playoffs and stuff like that. It's whatever. I don't understand a tournament. I understand a Grand Prix. I don't like the playoffs and all the stats on the screen and all that silly stuff. And you got to earn points to move on to the next round. It's too sports ball-y for me, and I don't like ball sports. So either way, there's that. But I do think at some point PFL could compete. They're going to need to add elbows. The elbows are illegal in PFL, and that is the dumbest thing. I think it's silly that headbutts are illegal. I'm the only person on that. But yeah, PFL does have a chance to eventually compete. Yeah, they do have all the tools. You're absolutely right. PFL does have all the tools. They're not there yet, and I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. I think it's coming, but it's not soon. It's going to be down the road. PFL has a ways to go before they get to compete with the UFC, but they're doing some of the right things, right? Swooping up Bellator might be the right move, but there's a lot of heavy contracts that Bellator put out that even with Saudi money, I mean, you're going to still just be burning that candle at both ends. And eventually you're either going to run out of money, or what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to cut some of those contracts. Like they're paying guys like that shouldn't be even fighting anymore. Guys in their like upper 40s and stuff. They're still paying those guys tons of money. They don't, for Bellator, that is. And if they buy Bellator, they're going to swoop up a lot of those contracts, right? That's the problem. So for PFL, they got to figure that out. They got to quit trying to buy talent simply with the money. You need to provide something else, because if you're trying to compete with UFC just on the money, it's not going to work. You're going to get a lot of guys that aren't going to be in the top level, but you're never going to get the top guys if you're competing on money. What do we got here? J.R. Smith. Don't like PFL's system. Yeah, right there with you, J.R. Smith's bowl of soup. I just hate the sports ball aspect of it, right? That's what they do. I understand it. I get why. They're trying to cater to a more casual fan base, trying to get fans that UFC maybe isn't targeting. So I totally understand. What's that up on the screen? I totally understand it, and why they do it. It's just, it's not what I would want to do, right? So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the PFL system, but if they can compete with the UFC, it'd be good. I don't think they will anytime soon, but it'll be good. UFC needs competition. PFL is not necessarily the company that's going to do it. One championship has a chance to do it, but then again, they've got some issues as well. It's going to be tough to compete with the UFC anytime soon. But, I'm hoping to see that. Let's see. What do you think about Nascimento Mayes? I mean, you got to – I have a hard time even doing tape study on that fight because, I mean, they already fought, and it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't close. I mean, Nascimento just pretty much, beat him pretty easy. So you got to assume Nascimento is going to win again, right? But, also it's a heavyweight fight. Mays hits fairly hard. I mean, we saw him chin Arlovsky, and Arlovsky's had a pretty good chin recently. I haven't done enough tape on that one to really know, but going off the first fight, if it's anything like that, Nascimento is going to beat him pretty easy. So that's where I'm kind of at there. But of course, you'll get it the full card breakdown. Don't worry. But yeah, Nascimento should be. I mean, he should beat him twice, right? I mean, I didn't feel any reason that we needed a rematch. So I don't know what's going on here. The UFC might be just trying to get another win for Nascimento, pad the record. But anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and stop screen sharing for a second. There we go. Excellent. Okay. Benson Henderson, Anthony Pettis 2, or 3 actually. Isn't it 3? I think it's first Sid MMA. Yes, you were right. The first one was like 3 years ago. I don't think Mays has gotten that much better, honestly. Don't know why that's popping up. Go away. Okay, there we go. So first off, Sid MMA, yeah, first one was like 3 years ago. I don't think Mays has gotten that much better, and I don't think Nascimento has gotten that much better either. So I think it's going to be pretty similar. I mean, both guys have improved, but I don't think enough to make a big difference or at a different scale. You know what I mean? Like if they both improved this much or whatever, I don't think they've improved enough that it's going to change it. The Benson Henderson thing. So that's at Karate Combat, right? So interestingly enough, so for Karate Combat, so I own a fitness kickboxing franchise. Well, 2 locations of a fitness kickboxing franchise called 9 Round Fitness in my day job, right? And 9 Round Fitness is actually the official fitness partnership of Karate Combat. So I'm stoked for that. I actually like that. That's going to get eyes on it, and that's going to help me outside of YouTube. So that's cool. So I like that. I think it's dope. In fact, there's talks about the guy who founded the 9 Round brand that I work for. Sounds like he's going to come out of retirement. He's a former world champion kickboxer. He's going to come out of retirement at like 40 some years old, 50 maybe. I don't know how old he is. He's getting up there. And he's going to come out of retirement and he's going to do a Karate Combat fight. And he can actually still hang. So like he's pretty legit. So that'd be fun. But yeah, I do think that's going to be interesting to see the Ben Henderson versus Anthony Pettis fight. in Karate Combat. I think the way that that's set up will be fun for those guys. I think it's going to be fun for the fans. Plus, like I said, helps me out. Brenner fight. Okay, this is the last one I'm going to cover, and then we'll take off. That's a fight of the night. That is a fight of the night. Brenner and Ribovich. That is going to be a banger from start to finish. I haven't picked a winner yet. I've gone back and forth a couple of times. Both guys have real good paths to victory. Brenner impressed the heck out of me as well as everybody else in his last fight. My gosh, he looked good. I want to pick him again. Like, just knee-jerk. If I just look at the two names, I would pick Brenner, but I got to go back on that one again. I've already jotted down a bunch of notes. I don't know. I'm going to look for some specific stuff in that one before I make any decisions. But I think both guys have a real path to victory there. I think that one's going to be a fun fight for as long as it lasts. I wonder what the over is going to be. You have Brenner. Yeah, I don't blame you. Brenner looked fantastic in his last matchup. I wonder what the over is going to be lined at. I don't know if it's already out or not. I could probably pull it up, actually. Let's see. What do we got? Hopefully this doesn't mess up the stream. So far, it has not. Okay, it looks like they don't have any over-unders out for that fight yet. I figured. I guess we got a ways yet. But if we can get a decent price on the over, that might be a very sweaty, fun play to play. I do like playing overs. Brenner's a better grappling. In certain aspects, yeah. Like once it's on the mat, I do think he has the better grappling, but I don't so much care for his takedown defense. So he could be taken down, but he can do pretty well once he is on the ground. Like I said, if I were just to pick right now without finishing out my research, I would take Brenner, but I'm going to wait on that one a little bit and make a final decision. I don't have any level of confidence. Any of the picks I've made now, there's a few of them that I have some confidence in. That's not one of them yet. That's a really close fight, a really fun fight. Probably going to be fight of the night. But all right, guys, I'm still at work. I've been here since it's 10:02 p.m. my time, and I've been here since 7:30 a.m. We closed down 2 hours ago, so I'm going to wrap up this stream. And I will hopefully catch you guys soon. But I appreciate y'all checking out the live stream, checking out World of Mixed Martial Arts 5. Like I said, in the description of this video, of this live stream, and all of my videos, you can find the link to buy it from my link. That's going to give me a little bit of cash. Not a lot, but a little bit. And it's supporting a fun game. Absolutely fantastic. World of Mixed Martial Arts 5. You can make all these matchups we're talking about in that game, and that's super cool. Book fantasy matchups. Book the matchups you've always wanted. Different mods. You guys are going to love it. Check it out. But yeah, appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you soon, and I'll see you in the next live stream as well as a full card breakdown coming up probably Tuesday.